Well, here you going, everyone. Josh the Collector Guy. Hope you all had an awesome week this week, everyone. Hope you're able to find some awesome cars for your collections. Well, I decided this week probably to do another episode of my, of the Hot Wheels Redline Rumble series. I know I did one months and months ago on my Sky Show Fleet sides, and I thought today, seeing as I had all my Rumblers out, I thought I'd do another one, and it will be on my Rumblers, my entire collection of Rumblers. I've certainly accumulated a lot over the couple of years I've been back into the Hot Wheels, of course. I think it was back in maybe 2010, 2011 or whatever, if not earlier than that, I started getting into the Hot Wheels again, and of course everyone knows I've discovered the old Hot Wheels and I've been hooked on them ever since. That's what I love, collecting the old vintage Hot Wheels. And seeing as I had my Rumblers out, I thought I'd go through each and every one of them and tell you a little bit of information on them, I guess. The Rumblers came out, and I'm pretty sure it was the very early 70s, and there was quite an array of bikes in the range, as you can see. I've pretty much got every single one except for two, which I shall touch on probably near the end of the video. I'll be going probably up each row and save this one for last, of course, the old Rip code, but I will name each and every one of them, and I will go through some of the riders. We'll start off with old row 1 just here, and the 4 here is the Road Hog, and of course, by the looks of it, it is probably one of the most common bikes you can find. I think a few of these I have found at swap meets and that, and gotten some off my mates and that, and as you can see, blue seems to be quite the common colour. I can't go through all the colours because I haven't memorised all of them, but a lot of the bikes did come out in a variety of colours, and also mixed and matched colours as well, and a lot of them are quite hard to get. And it's got the old, what ride is this one? This one's Hog. The first bike is called Road Hog, and it comes with the rider called Hog, and I'm pretty sure that's the only rider that came on that one. I could be wrong, but anyway. So pretty common bike. I think I've found a couple of them at swap meets and that, and even, as I said, off my mates for quite a cheap price, because when I usually find the Rumblers, it seems to be the Torque Chop and that one I always seem to find, but still I always pick them up because the Rumblers aren't something you see each and every day. Next one we've got is Mean Machine with the rider tops on it, because he's got the top hat there. I only have one of this bike. Quite a nice bike, probably your usual chopper looking one. Can't really remember where I got this one from. It might have been eBay. A lot of them I have gotten off eBay as well. That one's really cool. I do like that one. The next one, let's see if you can stand up. Yes, you can. We got old Devil's Deuce with the rider Finn, because on the top of his head he sort of looks like a Chariot rider, you could say, and he's got a fin on the top of his helmet, so that's where he gets his name from. And I did get this one off my mate as well. He does like his Rumblers too, and so does his brother. This one, to me, seems to be a little bit more harder to get. This is the only one I have in my collection as well, of course. I know it probably differs to every other person's collection as well, but to me this one's a little bit more harder to get. It's got the old orange rider as well. That one's nice as well. The next one, which I'm lucky enough to have carded, is the Rip Snorter. And the rider on this one is called number 6, because he has number 6 on his back just there. I really like the look of this bike. It reminds me of what they have in the drag racing, how it's all got the aerodynamic not fins, the cowling and that on it, and also reminds me of what they'd race on the salt flats as well. I think by the looks of it, this one's red and yellow, and my carded one looks like it's orange and yellow, and that's pretty much how a lot of them came back in the day. On card, got the old guy doing a wheelie on his bike there. And there was also a long rectangular card they came on as well. I think that one's a lot harder to get. And there is a few on eBay with some quite expensive bikes on the card. And I think they're around $700 Australian. So that is a lot of money. a lot of them are quite expensive as well, especially the Bone Shaker and the Praying Menace on card and the Rip Code. And especially if you got different variations of the bikes, like how I just pointed out that the other Rip Snorter was red and yellow and this one's orange and yellow. If you get an extremely rare variation, you'll be paying a lot of money for it too. And I have seen a Sipsa version of this bike, of the Rip Snorter, on eBay. And the Sipsa versions, I can tell you, are Mexican ones. They were made in Mexico, and well, nowadays they're extremely rare. And I saw that pushing around $300. This was a number of months ago as well. And I assume it would have sold for a lot more than that. Next lot of bikes, well, the last lot on the first row is the Torque Chop. And, well, I can say that that is the most common bike you can find. I'm sure there's quite a number of them on eBay as well you can find for really cheap. As you can see, the 4 out of the 6 are complete. Well, I do have one at the front there, but that one's a little bit more rarer to get, while the rider is anyway. They're all mostly complete with the riders, which is good, which is always a plus when you're buying the Rumblers. And if you can get them with the tracks on them as well, that's a win-win situation as well. With the tracks as well, there's a number of different variations with them as well. I do believe there are clear ones. The clear tracks, they're extremely rare, and the bow tracks as well, and I'm pretty sure there might be a couple of others as well. And the tracks pretty much are just a grey, enamel grey, just like that. So, and usually they're quite a bit of money to get as well on eBay, just for normal pairs of tracks. But onto the Torque Chop anyway. As you can see, there's a few colours of it. There's orange, and usually on a lot of the bikes, as you can see from a few of them, the old arrowhead just there is missing on a few of them. As you can see, the other 2 orange ones there are missing them. On the red ones, they've still got them, and I think the blue one is missing it, unfortunately. And this one came with the tops rider as well, as you can see. And also, that one's called, I think that one's called Bug Eye or something. Shades, no, sorry, Shades. We'll have a closer look at him, because as you can see, he's wearing sunglasses of some sort. So I do like the red one probably the best, but they're all really good anyway, all the Rumblers. As you can see, I pick them up when I can, because I've got about 7 of them anyway, so 3 reds, 3 oranges and 1 blue. I'm sure there's maybe another couple of colours, or unless I've got all the colours, so that's good. Moving on now to the second row, and we start off with one of my absolute personal favourites from the Rumblers, the old Bold Eagle. One of my absolute favourites, and some of them are quite rare and expensive to get as well. There's, I believe, a blue eagle, a red eagle, and a reddish pink eagle, I should say. And they're quite expensive to get, and I think there's a few others. The yellow one, I don't think I've got that one anywhere at all. I shall check though, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got all of them here actually. Probably the most common out of all of them, I would say, is the brown eagle with the white head, and I think there's also a brown one with no white head as well. I could be wrong. Comes with a tops rider, and there's also one with the shades rider. This one's the most complete out of all of them. As you can see, that's how the tracks came on this one. It was just at the tracks were just on the front, because there was 2 wheels at the back, whereas if you get a 2-wheeled bike, you'd have the 4-wheel tracks on them as well. The green one's really good, and the orange one here, this one's in pretty nice shape. The chrome's all still there on the wheels and also on the engine, which is always good to see when you're buying the old Rumblers. Not like the old Torque Chop here. I think the chrome's kind of come off and that. But still, I always pick them up no matter what condition, because they're Rumblers still anyway. You can always, if it's a broken bike, you can, and it comes with a rider, you can always use the rider. Or if there's no rider, you can always use the bike and find a rider, if that makes any sense. Moving on now to another cool one, well, cool Rumbler, the old Revolution. I would believe that is an aircraft engine at the front there. As you can see, a lot of the chrome's come off this one, unfortunately. I do believe I got this one from Germany as well. I think they were called Hollandfahren or something over there. I think that's what Rumblers translated to. And in England, Rumblers translated, well, they changed the name to anyway, Hell Riders. Actually, I think that's what Hell Riders translated into German. Is Hollandfahren, if that makes any sense what I just said there. That one's pretty cool. That comes with the Shades Rider, and I'm pretty sure this one does too. No, it comes with tops. There was a few other colour variations of this one as well. I think these two aren't really overly rare. There's so many different combinations of them. I would love to see who's got all of them. Of any of the bikes, might I say. Moving on now to another one of my favourites as well, the Roman Candle. It's pretty much got a whole heap of rockets strapped to the back. Got the old number 5 rider, because he has number 5 on the back. That's what he was called. That's their nicknames pretty much. Got old 6 rockets on the back there. That one's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure the fins are missing on this one. I think there was a variation between the two countries where these ones were made. The fins were quite different to each other. I'm pretty sure they're either made in Hong Kong and Mexico, so I think there's a variation that way between them, which is always handy to point out if you have a Hong Kong or a Mexican one. And this one, being the most complete one, has its tracks as well, in the orange with the brown rider, the brown number 5. Really nice condition, that one. That's how the fins come. I think on the other version of the bike, I think this one's just a Hong Kong. Or it could be the Mexican one anyway, but I think it's more skinnier and the fins are more skinnier at the front. I could be wrong about that one. If I've made an incorrect assumption on all of these, do point it out. Thank you, everyone. And got the old, I think this one's a black one just here. And unfortunately it's pretty much all shot at the front. He's run into something. The front bit of the bike's come off and even the wheel's gone as well. But it's an okay filler for the moment. And blue number 5 rider as well. On now to the Choppin' Chariot. Another cool little concept bike what Hot Wheels made. And another one of my favourites. Got the old black one just here, with the number 6 rider. I think the black one's a little bit more harder to get than your usual yellow one. Pretty sure I got this one off eBay too. Or I got it off one of my mates. It's one or the other, because that's pretty much all where I can only find my Rumblers from, is either eBay or my mates. And got the yellow one just here with a purple rider. Don't think the purple rider's overly rare. I think there is a silver rider as well. That one came in, I think, a track set exclusive or something like that. That one's really nice as well. And the tracks for this one would have been the 2-wheel tracks like how you get it on the Roman Candle as well. Really cool. Love that idea of a motorcycle. It'd be pretty cool to see as well. And the last row, we got at the beginning just here, old Hightailer with the number 5 rider. This one's got the tracks on it. The most complete one out of the 3 of them, but I would have to say that one there is in a lot better condition than this one here. Even though this one is still pretty good. Really like this one as well. Reminds me of something you'd find at the drag racing. Got the blue one here as well, the same rider. And this one here, another red one. I think those two are the same. They look the same. That's either an orange or a red. The chrome on that's pretty good. It's like as if it was a fresh blister pull and someone just left it somewhere for all these years. That one's really nice, and the stand's pretty good. A lot of them do have stands, or the two-wheeled bikes have stands anyway. I apologise for all the ones that have fallen over because their stands are either broken or missing. Like the Road Hogs just up the back there. Got the old 3 Squealer here. Now, I have found that this one is a little bit more harder to find, because it was only until this year that I found these two just here. Got the yellow and black version, which is probably the most common version out of all of it. And the Centurion Rumbler also shares the same sort of body as this one. The only difference between the 3 Squealer and the Centurion is that it's got a lion's head on the front there. That one's a really nice looking one as well. And it also has plastic handlebars, and they're always usually missing as well on the Centurion. Just need to put some riders on this one. I must look up what riders came on the 3 Squealer. I'm sure it's probably tops. And the yellow and orange one, I think this one's not overly rare to come by, but it's less common than the yellow and black one just there. And this one is in a lot better shape. That's how the handlebars come on it as well. Looks really good. It looks like it's got a 4-cylinder engine at the back there as well, which is an odd combination on a motorbike maybe. It's probably got a car engine on it. Now we're getting into the more harder ones to get. Well, not the torque chop here, the rider on it though. Old Tops in a pinkish red. Now this one, probably book value from what I've looked at, is worth $75 on its own. Remember getting this one just this year. Very glad to have it in the collection because it's a rider you don't see all that often. And I'm sure if I got a bone shaker, I'd certainly will be taking it off this one and putting it on it. Because I'm pretty sure this pinkish red Tops did come on the bone shaker as well. So pretty common bike with a pretty rare rider. I'm still happy to have it though. Not pretty good shape as well. There's a lot of rare colours of the riders as well. I'm sure there's some that are probably worth more than some of the common bikes as well. I just haven't written it all down, but do keep an eye, even have a look on eBay, see what's on there to get a rough idea of what's rare and what's common to get. Got the old Straightaway, the only one I have in my collection. It's taken a while to pick this one up. It's got number 6 rider on it. Pretty unusual style of motorbike as well, but this one's all complete. Very happy with it as well. Because as you can see, it's pretty hard to get all your bikes complete with the tracks and everything and the rider. Unless you find a all complete one on eBay and pay a little bit more for it, but it's certainly worth it in the end. That one's a really nice motorbike. Very unusual design. Still cool nevertheless. And probably I would have to say the two most favourite Rumblers I have in my collection. We'll get to the rip code in a second. Got the old Praying Menace. Now, I remember just this year we bought it off had to bid for it off a German seller. And surprisingly enough, no one else bid on it either, so we were pretty happy about that. Really like the Praying Menace. It's always been one I've always wanted to have in the collection. And got the purple shades rider as well, but his shades aren't really coloured in. I'm not sure if that's really an error. Probably isn't. It's just, or maybe it is, they didn't colour his eyes in, well, his shades in anyway. Does have his track as well, so we're pretty glad it's all complete. Really awesome design for a motorbike as well. Very glad to have this one in the collection. I'll tell you one thing, if you wanted a carded, you could probably forget about that. You'll probably be paying maybe over $300 or something to have one carded. And last but not least, my most favourite Rumbler in the collection, the old Rip Code. I remember, I think it was last year, one of the last, or it was, yeah, I think it was last year, got this off my mate who collects his his Rumbler motorbikes. and it's all complete as well. Very, very glad to have this one in the collection, because I'd have no luck on eBay trying to bid for one, because every other Rumbler collector would want one as well. Pretty unusual concept design, and pretty much the base bike of this one is the torque chop as well. As you can see, all they really changed is just the seating arrangement. It really is pretty much the same bike almost. Well, actually no, it's not. Kind of. Yeah, it is actually. Excuse me. It is pretty much the same bike, but a few things have been changed on it. As you can see where the handlebars are. So that one's really cool. The canopy does lift up, and I know my mate was telling me, who I did buy it off, I think he's got a rare one as well, where it's got a bit of plastic inside the canopy just there, which I would assume increases the value, and I can only imagine the price of one of these things carded as well. I think I've seen one for around $400, if not more as well, because it's just one of those bikes what every Rumbler collector wants to have in the collection. I'm so glad to have not only this one, but each and every one of these Rumblers in my collection, and really hope to find more one day. Haven't really looked on eBay for a while at them, but probably will this afternoon, I guess, see what's on there. Well, I hope you enjoyed this different video for the week, everyone. It probably gets a bit, well, maybe not boring, but the same thing all the time, me showing my things I got each week. Don't worry, there's still plenty of stuff I need to show you, so next week back into the same thing. Really hope you enjoyed this Hot Wheels Redline Rumble episode, everyone. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week, leaves kind comments, watches the videos, subscribes to my channel, whatever. Really do appreciate it, everyone. Thank you for all the nice comments you leave me each and every week. Thank you very much. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Now remember, as always, everyone, happy hunting, keep the hobby strong. See you later, everyone. Have an awesome week.